Artisan Studios is made of a passionate group of developers who love JRPGs. We played them for years and years, and now we just want to be a part of this incredible world of adventures. Our team is focusing on pushing 2D art to create a unique visual experience for the players. What struck us was the big difference when you look at video game art books and the same characters in the game. The characters look good, but it stays kind of an interpretation of the artwork. That's when we thought, what if you could actually play with the artwork? What if you could actually bring that art to life? That motto has led us since then.
You should feel lucky to witness such power. Now, disappear!
Our staff is composed of developers having 10 to 15 years of game development experience, and artists coming from traditional cartoon animations and movie productions. Many of our team members have worked on 2D games for the past 6-7 years and worked on JRPGs-inspired games before that. That was the foundation of the studio, to use that experience and knowledge in Japanese games and 2D to continue creating games for that audience. Of course, we had to start over on a lot of things because the studio was brand new, but we had the incredible luck to rely on extremely talented people bringing their past experience to help creating the game. Compile Art and Artisan Studios came together because of our mutual love of RPGs and video games. When we started the project, both teams were excited to make a different Neptunia game while keeping all the aspects the fans love. Everyone worked so hard and so passionately because everyone wanted to deliver the best new experience for Neptunia fans. The attention to the original art drawn by Tsunako was from the start a common goal for both companies. We wanted to stay true to the original art, and Compile Art was excited to see their character moving in 2D. They gave us a lot of constructive feedback to make sure the characters stay true to their nature. Ultimately, we shared the same goal, making the game as good and fun as possible, and there's no better way to make a collaboration work.
For the animation process, we received plenty of notes describing how hair wicks, ponytails, body parts, and materials should move based on the character's design. Our challenge was to find a balance between each character's design constraints and avoiding the feeling of a paper-cut style that might feel a bit flat. Characters who are designed with a lot of detail and accessories, knots, belts, several layers of fabrics, intertwined elements, etc., are the ones who need specific attention, technically speaking. Fortunately, Idea Factory and Mizuno-san, the Neptunia producer, highlighted the details that made each character unique so we could be sure their animations suited them. Aside from character animations, the other characters in the game is the background itself. When creating backgrounds, you want to tell a story for each town. How big is the city? Who lives there? Is it narrow? Is it bright? Gloomy? What is there to do? Design-wise, Idea Factory laid the groundwork for us to give personality to each city. As every city references a certain gaming console or brand, the artist could use specific elements known by the players to shape the cities. For the dungeons, it's different. We initially worked on a number of gameplay themes for them. Lots of platforms, lots of jump combinations, hidden passages, and the artist had some liberty to work around those constraints. The amount of time that went into each background would depend on other variables. How big is this place? How many elements are there in it? Implementing the art into the game was a joint effort between the art team and the level designers to make sure that it felt satisfying from both a gameplay and visual standpoint. It required a lot of back and forth between the two teams to adjust the placement of the visuals on one hand and draw additional elements on the other. One of the goals of the music was to add a layer of detail that's not necessarily shown on screen. For example, nostalgia, a sense of adventure, a certain lightheartedness, and generally hints about places and character. As technology isn't as much present as it is in the past Neptunia games, we decided to have mostly acoustic and orchestral music rather than electronic sounds. The soundtrack in itself is also a homage to Japanese RPGs.
I'll end this! That was a good hit! Dodged it? I'll end this!
With Super Neptunia, we wanted players to feel like they have great control over their characters and how they use them in battle. So that's why we came up with the rotating formation system, which allows the player to switch between skills anytime during combat, so they can adapt their strategy according to the flow of battle. One of the big features of previous Neptunia games was the area of effect for each attacker's skill. In the early design of Super Neptunia RPG, we thought about keeping that feature, but didn't make much sense in 2D. Going to 2D makes you lose one dimension, obviously, which means the area of effect would only work horizontally and vertically. The overall battle system is very different from the previous games. Idea Factory wanted us to make something dynamic. What we did keep were the goddess transformations and super attacks, called break attacks in Super Neptunia RPG.
I shall give you a peaceful rest. By my courage, evil will be destroyed. Status!
We were very honored to work on such a big JRPG series. We did feel pressure, but also the joy of delivering a gem for the players and the fans. The new cast of characters are really refreshing, and I think people will enjoy the story since it adds a lot to the Neptunia lore. We aim to make a game that Neptunia fans will enjoy as much as previous games in the series, but we hope fans of JRPGs will enjoy it because of its story, gameplay, and overall design. Thank you, and we hope you're looking forward to playing Super Neptunia RPG.